Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Adam Muzaffar bin Muhammad Zamri, and today I will be presenting chapter 2, subtopic 2.5, which is the relationship between photosynthesis and crop yield. So, in generally, photosynthesis is one of the most important biological process in plant because it directly affects plant growth and agricultural productivity. So, in this presentation, I will explain how photosynthesis influence crop yield and why understanding this relationship is important in agriculture. This is introduction to photosynthesis. I will explain more deeper about photosynthesis. So, basically, photosynthesis is the process by which green plant produce food using sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water. So, during this process, plant convert light energy into chemical energy in the form of glucose. So, the glucose produced is then used as a resource of energy and building material for plant growth. So, without photosynthesis, plant cannot produce enough food to support their growth, development, and yield. Therefore, photosynthesis is considered the foundation of crop production. Okay, we move to the next slide, which is the objective of this presentation. So, the objective is first to explain the relationship between photosynthesis and crop yield. Second, to discuss the role of biomass production in determining crop yield. Last one is to identify agricultural practices that can improve photosynthesis and increase productivity. Okay, before we go through more deeper about our topic today, we need to know first what is crop yield. So basically, crop yield refers to the amount of useful agricultural product harvested from a crop within a specific area. For example, in rice cultivation, the yield is measured as grain production. In maize cultivation, yield is measured as a corn production. So for oil palm plantation, yield is measured as fresh fruit bunch or FFB. So the main goal of farmer is to achieve higher crop yield because it increase productivity and profitability. And next, I will explain in detail about our main topic today, which is relationship between photosynthesis and yield. So as you can see, I have put the flow from sunlight to harvestable yield. So there is a direct relationship between photosynthesis and crop yield. So, photosynthesis produces glucose, which serves as the main source of energy for plants. So, the glucose is used to build plant tissue such as leaf, stem, root, flowers, fruit, and seeds. So, as the rate of photosynthesis increase, more glucose is produced. So, this result in better plant growth, higher biomass accumulation, and ultimately higher crop yield. So, in simple terms, the more efficient a plant perform photosynthesis, the greater its potential yield. Next slide is about biomass production. We need to understand first what is biomass production. So basically, biomass refers to the total dry matter produced by a plant. Example of biomass include leaf, stem, root, fruit, and seeds. So according to crop science principle, biomass production depends on the ability of the crop canopy to intercept and utilize sunlight effectively. So leaves are the main organ responsible for capturing solar radiation. When plants receive sufficient sunlight, photosynthesis increase and more biomass is produced. So generally, crops with higher biomass have greater potential to produce higher yield. Okay, next slide is presenting about PAR and light composition point. So basically, another important concept is photosynthetically active radiation, or we call it PAR. So PAR refers to the light energy the plant can use for photosynthesis. So plant productivity depends on how much time the plant receive PAR above the composition point. So what is composition point? The composition point is the point where the rate of photosynthesis equal the rate of respiration. So at this point, the plant survive but does not grow. When light intensity is above the composition point, photosynthesis become greater than respiration. As a result, more carbohydrates are produced, plant growth increase, and crop yield improve. Okay, on this slide, I will explain several agronomic and horticultural practices that can improve photosynthesis and ultimately increase crop yield. The first practices that we can see on my slide is proper plant spacing. So when plants are grown too close together and create shading, this reduces the amount of sunlight reaching the lower leaf, which decrease the rate of photosynthesis. So by maintaining proper spacing, more sunlight can penetrate the crop canopy, so this will allowing plants to photosynthesize more efficiently. Okay, the second practices is pruning. So we all familiar with this activity, pruning. So pruning involves removing unnecessary branch, leaf or shoot. So this had improved light penetration into the inner part of the plant canopy. So in addition, pruning improve air circulation and can reduce the risk of disease. So with better light exposure, plants are able to carry out photosynthesis more effectively and produce more carbohydrate for growth. So the third practices is weed control. Weed compete with crop for essential resources such as light, water, nutrient and space. So if we are not controlled, they can reduce the availability of this resource to the crop. As a result, photosynthesis and plant growth may be negatively affected. So therefore, effective weed management help ensure that crop receive sufficient resource for optimal photosynthesis. The last one is supplemental lighting, so which is commonly used in greenhouse production. So artificial lighting can provide additional light when natural sunlight is insufficient, especially during cloud weather or in controlled growing environment. So this allows plants to continue photosynthesizing for a longer period and support better growth and productivity. Overall, these practices help improve light interception and photosynthetic efficiency. When photosynthesis increase, plant produce more glucose and carbohydrate, which support growth, biomass accumulation, and ultimately higher crop yield. For the conclusion, photosynthesis is the foundation of crop production. Okay, the rate of photosynthesis directly influence biomass production and crop yield. So, plants that capture and utilize sunlight efficiently are able to produce more carbohydrate, resulting in better growth and higher productivity. Therefore, improving photosynthesis through proper crop management is one of the most effective ways to increase agriculture yield. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.